practice of self-discovery, then I highly recommend that. So today we are diving into this idea of embracing change and transformation. So last week we talked about this new energy. We did some visualization with a meditation at the end of um, your highest potential and really tapping into these deeper energies within us, listening and dropping into this practice with something more than your eyes and ears and this realm. So seeing if you can listen to everything with your heart or with your belly or with your root, and really just feel into your practice. So, from that, embracing the change and the transformation of what we're wanting to move into. So, as we're doing our shadow work and diving a little deeper, we see these things of like, oh, this is holding me back from um, what I want in life or where I want to be or where I envision myself, and cutting away at these ties or these self doubts that we have or things that are keeping us um, from that highest potential or this best life, favorite version of your life that you will be living and that you're trying to live. But sometimes cutting those things and digging that stuff up is sticky and uncomfortable. So when we're looking at change, sometimes there's a little bit of chaos around it, a little fire starting to burn away those things, and we're maybe unsure and feel like unsafe in that space of like, what's going to happen? What is this transition? And there's some fear there. So when we are feeling those things, we can come back to our practice. So Svadhyaya, where we're looking at self-study within our 8 limbs of yoga, and we're looking at those practices within us that we can come back to help us embrace this change and this transformation. So in self-study, noticing energetically and somatically with your body when you're thinking about these changes happening, like, oh, if that hits me in this spot, I'm feeling tension or tightness in my belly or in my heart or somewhere else, maybe in our throat, if it has to do with expressing ourselves. So you can sometimes feel those places in our bodies where we're holding tension when these things come up, and studying that and asking like, oof, why am I feeling that? Even asking that question of why is this resistance here to this change or to this feeling of transformation. um, Another thing that we could do is uh, after reflecting on that and kind of coming to an understanding of ourselves, coming back to our practice of yoga and the philosophy and deepening that understanding or that practice. So, throughout today's practice, I would invite you to explore how you can be in control of the process of changing and embracing that transformation, and acknowledge that you have this potential within you. We all do, to be this best version of yourself. And the practice of yoga, allowing us the possibility of changing our relationship to change rather than being subject to it. So, exploring our relationship to changing and transformation. And we'll start by moving into a child's pose. So, either a wide legged child's pose or with your knees together, if that's comfortable and accessible to you. You can also use a bolster here if we're wanting to rest. We can put the bolster at our chest and allow our upper body to rest on the bolster and be here. And as you settle into each pose, notice any resistance or discomfort. Acknowledge it and see if you can send your breath there. If you can allow a release or a settling into this space of discomfort. If there's pain, of course, backing out, but seeing if you can sit in that space of stickiness with your breath. And gently walk the hands back and adjust any props to move into Sphinx pose. So coming with our bellies to the mat. Elbows just ahead of the shoulders. Forearms pressing into the earth. Gaze can come down towards the earth. As we press away with our forearms, drawing the shoulder blades together and opening the heart center. Imagine this golden light from your heart as the potential for change, the potential to embody the most favorite version of yourself or your life or your path that you're on. And imagine just holding that in your heart center here, breathing into it, just envisioning the potential that we all have to manifest, to change, to shape our reality. And exhale, bring your forehead to your arms briefly. And just pause. Draw the hands under the shoulders and press back, coming into a half butterfly. So bringing the legs out wide, maybe placing a blanket under your hips, a little cushioning. Legs coming out wide, draw the left foot in towards the midline or towards the groin. And find a nice long spine. On the inhale, imagine lengthening the spine. And keeping that length on the exhale, rooting down through the sit bones, down through the base of the spine to the root. And really connecting here with the earth and with the ether, the universe around us, the guiding cosmic force. becoming a conduit for the energy here, the space in between the earthly plane, this middle space of the physical realm, and the ever changing process of energy exchange. We see those cyclically in the seasons, in our day, the rising of the sun, the falling to the earth, and the moon rising, a deeper energy, a time of rest and receiving, a higher vibrational time of doing and going. And yin, we're here in this space of receiving. Sometimes that can be a little difficult in these times where we feel the energetic push of the sun powering us to do and to be out more, be more active, which is a great way to build the fire, to burn away those things as well that may be holding us back from our potential. So we have that active energy going on the surface, and then allowing ourselves to rest in these spaces, this time deeper within. Extend both legs out and pause here. Notice as we transition from pose to pose, the spaces between, how it feels for a pose to leave your body and how it feels to move into the next. Drawing the right sole of the foot towards the midline or towards that left inner thigh. And finding our length again and our connection. And imagine on the inhale, drawing that earth grounded energy up into this space and letting go of all of those chaotic feelings, the stress, the things to come, the things that brought you here, everything from the outside being sent back into the earth to be transformed, to be changed, to be grounded, new energy to arise. Work with the breath here, just connecting, not too deep of a breath, but just noticing your natural breath. Notice if you're holding tightness anywhere, maybe in the belly, while there's some need to hold some tension there in your abdomen and your core. There's also a little bit of ease that can be applied. So see if you're holding some tightness there. See if you can relax in the belly. Allow the belly to soften. Extend both legs out. Maybe shake them out a little. And we'll keep the widened stance as we move into dragonfly. So you can have your blocks nearby, maybe your bolster, and we can kind of feel into this dragonfly in a more supported way, using our props if needed. And finding that length in our spine and then walking the hands out, letting our head rest. If you need to bend the knees here, you can. Maybe a little bit easier, bringing the bolster closer to you, holding on with your arms. If that doesn't feel good, you can always just stay in the upright position. As you hold poses throughout the practice today, imagine shedding old patterns, old ideas that are no longer working, ways of approaching change and transitions, letting go of things that are no longer serving us, serving that higher purpose. Walk the hands back, bringing the head up last. And just pause here for a moment, eyes closed, gaze turned inward. And notice the transition of that pose leaving your body. When you're ready, meet me in tabletop for dragon. Use a blanket to cushion our little knees. Wrists stacked underneath the shoulders, knees stacked under the hips. Go ahead and move through a couple of cat-cows at your own breath. Just feeling into the spine, into the hips. Inhale, gaze comes up, belly drops. Exhale, spine rounds. Gaze comes towards the navel, tailbone tucks under. Moving through these with the flow of your breath. And when you come back up through tabletop, pause there and walk or step the right foot towards the hands, meeting them at the top of the mat. Right foot comes to the outside of the right hand. Inhale, press through the right foot, arms raise up. Exhale, cactus the arms with just a little slight back bend here. And imagine the sun just hitting your heart center, your solar plexus, capturing all of that love and compassion and empowerment, confidence within you. Arms come back up overhead, interlace and place them behind the right knee. Check in with your hips and your alignment. See how it feels to your body and find a place to settle in. And drop the shoulders down away from the ears. And see if you can sense the power in this pose, the stance of feeling empowered and confident in these changes, like knowing and trusting in yourself to make these decisions, to change and transform. The dragon represents this fierceness within us all, this potential for change and growth, and this energy rising in you. Bring the hands down to blocks or to the earth. Sink in just a little deeper. We won't stay here too long. Just a gentle stretch. Lean into your power. 3 breaths here. And on the exhale, pressing back gently into that half split. Toes pointed towards the front of the mat. And moving back through tabletop in whatever way works for you. And moving into the left side. So stepping or walking the left foot forward to meet the hands. And drawing up, pressing through the sole of the left foot, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, cactus the arms back. Touch in with that power one more time. Imagine it just kind of warming and melting away all those doubts and all the fears about change. Inhale, arms reach up, fingers interlace. Exhale, place them behind the left knee. Check in with your alignment. Find a place to settle, to be. And coming down to blocks or to the earth, deepening once more, stepping into the receiving, stepping into the power and being in a place to receive the abundance, the change that comes. And exhale, press back, release. We'll move into a fire log, But I'm going to have you just sit in Sukhasana, so just legs crossed, and then I'll have you switch the other way. Okay, so fire log, bringing the right shin parallel to the front of the mat. Left ankle crosses over, resting on the right knee. You can use blocks to close the gap. And find that length in the spine again, that connection. Reconnect with the earth through the root, through the base of your spine. And here I would like you to maybe take the opportunity, if it feels good and safe to you, to visualize the areas of your life where you're experiencing change right now, change or transformation. Envision those situations, those scenarios coming up, and using your breath, see if you can create space for acceptance. And slowly unwind. Maybe bring the feet out in front and windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Feel into those sticky spots and maybe pause for a minute. And then switch to the opposite side. So just cross your legs the opposite of how you had them before, or bring your left leg to the floor, parallel to the side of your mat. Right ankle crosses on top, resting on the left knee, and using a block to close the gap. Sometimes I like to think of fire log or any of the hip opening exercises where we're grounded and rooted into the earth as kind of like aerating your garden bed. So we get all these experiences that we have, and they may be negative, or maybe we have some emotional attachment to them that makes us feel unsafe. And we ground it into our root, into our hips, into this place of needing to feel stable. Instead, we put all of these experiences and emotions get trapped here. So, like our garden beds, when we're trying to create change and we're trying to move those old weeds out, we need to aerate the soil. We need to pluck the weeds out of the ground and amend the soil. So I like to think of this process of opening the hips as kind of digging into that bed and kind of seeing what's there, noticing what's coming up without judgment and just kind of looking at it. And if it's a weed, toss it aside. And unwind, shake the legs out. We'll move into swan or pigeon pose. You can take this one however is comfortable for you. If you want to do it like we normally do, like traditionally, um, or if you want to take more like relaxed, maybe you can just lean back on your hands with your fingertips pointed backwards and then just cross a leg over. But whatever feels like comfortable to you. Yeah, just another way to access it. But from tabletop, drawing the right knee forward, maybe taking a block and placing it under the hip, aiming to get our shin somewhat near the front of the mat or parallel to the front of the mat. The closer uh, you can get that, the more the hip may open up for you. And the block can kind of facilitate that support for that change there. Pressing away from the earth to start with the palms of our hands. And if you remember from previous classes, or I may have mentioned this, but our palms of our hands are a connection to our solar plexus. So again, in a place of power here, really connecting with the earth and letting go of those thought patterns, those negative narratives that we may be hearing right now with Pluto in retrograde. We're dealing with a lot of those deeper psychological processes coming up, maybe some shadowy things coming out. So examining those and really releasing any things or ways of thinking that are not serving us and exchanging it for the energy that the earth has transmuted this into, and drawing that up into our power center, into our seat of confidence, and really owning that we can accept and embrace these changes. That when we let go of things, we receive new energy. We create space for change. If it feels good to you now to come down to blocks or to your forearms on the mat and let your head hang heavy, just open a place of receiving here. Maybe bowing the crown of the head to the earth. And inviting the wisdom of earth energy. Gently coming back up and releasing any props, unwinding, coming back through tabletop, and drawing the left knee forward this time, making whatever adjustments you need to feel supported here. And if you feel called to, coming down into the forearms or onto blocks, and letting the head hang heavy once more. Allow the neck to release. And placing the hands back on the mat, pressing back. Maybe just finding a brief child's pose. Toes together, knees width of the mat. Walk the hands out and allow the head to meet the earth. Tailbone sinks towards the earth as well. Feel into the lengthening of the spine, the creation of space between each vertebrae. Gaze comes towards the fingertips. Slowly make your way to a reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. You can use your bolster if you want to sit up. Bring your blanket to the ankles. Wrap it underneath the knees, resting your thighs on the blanket, soles of the feet together, and gently lay back. Allow yourself to rest here. Maybe bringing the arms out to the sides or to rest on the inside of the thighs. Here we are in the receiving posture, a place of opening up our bodies, our central line of energy, and inviting something new, meeting it with open arms, with an open heart, embracing this transformation of energy. You can stay here or find your final Shavasana, extending the legs out long. Find a cozy spot to settle in. We'll be doing another extended Shavasana, allowing some time for rest and reciprocity, receiving and allowing a little bit of adventuring journey. So allow your body to rest here comfortably, to be held by the earth. Notice all the places of contact that your body has with the earth. In the back of the head, the shoulders, the spine, the hips, maybe down the back of your legs. Feel your heels rooted here, grounded. And become in tune with the natural rhythm of your breath. Just noticing the inhale and exhalation as it is. Don't work to shape it or change it, just allow it to be here. Become aware of any areas within your body that you are holding tension that is not needed. Maybe in the jaw, shoulders, maybe in the belly. Allow it to soften. Allow the exhalation to invite a softening, a release. If you're holding some tension and it feels good to place your hands there, just notice these areas. Allow yourself to be present and accept whatever arises without judgment. Reminding yourself that change is a natural part of life. With each exhale, the body becoming heavier and more relaxed. Allow your consciousness to follow the sound of my voice. As thoughts arise, allow them to drift by. And imagine that you are sitting on the bank of a river. You see the trees around you, the water rushing by at your feet. Or maybe it's calm and there's just a slight tide. The water crashing at the shoreline, right at your feet. Become in tune with the rhythm of the water and your breath. As you sit here in contact with the earth around you, with the movement of the water, and the sun on your skin, identify for a moment with the sun itself, embodying its essence of heat, of warmth, of a catalyst for change, power, confidence. And the sun always knows it will rise again. And move your awareness to experiencing the sun's warmth on your skin. You are no longer the sun, but the observer of the sun, of the warmth, of the change. You allow this warmth to radiate through your heart center. And as it fills your heart center, the warmth expands to your belly. And it expands up through your shoulders, to your arms, to your fingertips. It begins to travel throughout your entire being, softening and releasing. Soothing away any worries, resistance, any tension. Here you're embraced by its warm, nurturing essence. Identify for a moment with the river itself. The power within the water, raging through, carving its own path. It is ever changing, continuously flowing. Imagine that you are this river, that you carve your own path when obstacles are in the way. You know that there's another way through. Running through your veins is the power of the water to wash away, to carve away the rough edges, the stickiness, the tightness, the resistance, to create change into something softer, something that embraces the changing waters. Allow your worries and old thought patterns to be released through the soles of your feet into the river. Let them wash away downstream, creating space for more warmth, more love. Allow yourself to be here in this space and envision what your ideal life looks like. And feel into it with your heart and your belly. Dare to embrace the change. With each inhale, breathing this energy into your heart, into your belly, and holding it here in these energetic spaces. And begin to deepen your breathing. And invite yourself to come back to this space, to this room, to the earth beneath you. And make gentle movements with your fingers and toes. When you're ready, make your way to a seated position facing me. On an inhale, circle sweep the arms up, palms together. Exhale, hands at heart center. Thank you for joining me for this practice of yin yoga. of a time of exploring how we can embrace the change and transformation that will inevitably always be in front of us. The only constant that we can rely on is that there is going to be change, right? So, coming back to this space, to this visualization of embracing and being open to these changes and these transformations within us. Take a moment to cultivate gratitude for yourself for arriving here today to tune into your personal practice and connect and to explore something deeper. Take another big inhale in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it all out. Satnam, may you be the most favorite